And so these nations in Africa, we definitely need to sit down again and redraw the map, redraw the map. The Europeans who set the boundaries of countries in Africa set the boundaries based on their own interests, their long-term interests. They knew they were leaving. But how are these new nations they are building going to meet their needs? For example, Africa is totally a virgin land. It has extremely wealthy, it's extremely wealthy and has a great riches, deposits of all kinds of minerals and oil. And so they knew, the Europeans knew that they will need that for their markets. So 60% of the world's arid land is in Africa. Can you imagine that? 20% of world's the renewable clean water is in Africa, and so many other things. 90% of platinum and uranium is in Africa. 90%. You can imagine. They all knew that this great wealth is in Africa, and they needed to secure this wealth by creating, nations with boundaries that was going to satisfy them. And they picked up people, put them in place, people that will satisfy their own need, not the need of the African nations. That's the reason why Africa becomes a very, very disjointed, twisted, weird. In some places, it's weird, kind of a nation with people who share nothing in common, are then forced to live together, So, having said all that, you realize that it becomes a big problem for Africa really to find their feet in any way and to be able to make any progress whatsoever. So, that's the reason why we are looking at this subject and comparing it with the American founding fathers, who deliberately sat down and decided what kind of nation they want. The African nations need to sit down, not just African nations, but of course Latin America and some of the Asian countries need to really sit down and take note and decide on their own what they really, really want, So, yeah, so in examining again the American founders, we have, videos here that we will watch. Probably, I pray that we can watch both of them, It's really about 10 minutes or thereabout, and hope that we can look at them. So just hang in there, and we'll really have a good time today. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Please take your jotter, take your note, your pen, and let's go to school.
Idea of the self-directed life.